Hello, hello. I'm Janette, author of Janette Lane Blog. How are you? Hope you've been well. In today's video, I wanted to share a little bit about Distress Oxides and some fun stuff that you can do with them. Here on the left, I have a Distress Oxide in broken china, and then on the right is a Distress Ink in cracked pistachio. And so I'm going to set the cracked pistachio aside because we don't need that for right now. But the Distress Oxides are by Tim Holtz, aka Crafty King of the Universe, and he released, I think these were first released last year, so in 2017, and so he's come out with some new colors. But anywho, basically oxides are a fusion of a pigment and a dye ink, so you get some really vibrant colors, but also with some dye properties, some dye ink properties. And the wonderful thing about these is that they're also reactive to water, just like the Distress inks. But I really love just how vibrant and bold these colors are. And so I had some fun playing with these at work, and I wanted to share this video. And I'm just going to be stamping on some white cardstock, just kind of showing you two cool things that you can be that you can do with these inks. And so I'm going to be working with these apple blossom floral stamps. I will have those linked for you below. So I'm going to be using this bouquet in the corner here. It is absolutely gorgeous. I love florals. I wish these stamps smelled like flowers. That would be amazing. Scratch and sniff stamps. Isn't that a great idea? Let's make it happen. So anyway, I'm grabbing my Distress Oxide ink pad and I'm just loading up my stamp with some color. And I want to show you first that you can also stamp, just straight up stamp with these Oxide inks. So I'm just going to push my little stamp down on my card, and you can see that it makes a really crisp and clear and vibrant image. But what's really fun is when you add water to the mix. And so I'm going to spritz this with some water. This is my little water spritzer. Make sure, word of the wise, that the little nozzle is pointing in the right direction, because if I had a penny for every time that I've spritzed myself in the face, I would have like $5 by now. So make sure that nozzle is pointed in the right direction. I was pretty generous with the water spritzing, but it's definitely up to you. You can just grab like a scrap piece of cardstock and kind of work and experiment and try different water to stamp ink ratio. It's completely up to you. And honestly, it's really fun. I did that before I filmed this video, and I don't know, it was just a lot of fun. It was really relaxing, and I think you would enjoy just that whole creative process of trying different things out. It's really fun. So now that I have my image, my stamped image, I stamped my paper, I'm drying it up just a little bit because I want the color to set. And as you can see, there's just such a difference when you stamp with just a little bit of water in the mix. It creates like a really translucent artistic effect. It almost looks like you stenciled the stamp. So it almost looks like you're doing some stenciling instead of stamping. So I'm going to repeat the process. I'm going to spritz some water on my stamp, and then I'm going to stamp right next to the first floral bouquet image. This is a really great technique to use to create some fun artistic backgrounds for either your cards or maybe your planner layout or your traveler's notebook layouts. If you're doing some art journaling, it would just be so nice to have some like wet stamping in the background. Okay, so now I'm going to complete my repeating pattern. So I'm just going to repeat the same process. I'm going to load up my stamp with some Oxide ink and then spritz it with a little water. If I have too much water, I'm just going to dab my scrap piece of cardstock on there to wipe off the excess. And then I'm also going to be drawing with my heated tool. Okay, so here is the finished effect, and I have my original stamped image side by side just so you can see two effects that you can get with the same stamp. I think it's just a great way to add extra life to your stamps, you know what I mean? Because sometimes you run out of ideas of what to do with your stamps, but I really love this effect. It's almost stenciled. I cannot get enough. I'm really excited to try this with all of my stamps, actually. This next technique I saw in a Jennifer McGuire video, which I will link for you below, but I just saw it and I'm like, oh my gosh, gotta drop everything and try it. In case you don't know who Jennifer McGuire Ink is, I need you to stop this video and go look her up because she has some amazing tutorials. She makes some beautiful cards and she shares some great techniques. So what I'm doing is, again, I have another piece of white cardstock and I'm taking a little mini ink smoothie blender and I'm loading it up with some, again, Broken China Distress Oxides. I really do have other colors, but seriously, I think Broken China is my favorite color. And I'm just doing little circles, not swirls, just circles all across the background of my card. Now that my cardstock is nice and blue just the way I wanted, I'm going to grab my stamp that I was using earlier, and like 2 seconds ago I wiped it with a baby wipe just to get all that color off from earlier. And I'm going to spritz it with water. And again, I'm going to be really generous about it, and I'm going to stamp my blue card with my stamp, and I'm kind of going to leave it on there for just a bit so that the water soaks into the paper and reacts with the oxides, and it's going to leave a really cool effect, which I think you're going to love. I was so excited when I saw this. I just wanted to try it immediately, so hopefully you're inspired to try as well. This effect is so fun. So next what I'm going to do is just repeat the same process. I'm going to load up my stamp with some water, spritz in it with some water, and then I'm going to hold it down on the paper, put a little pressure on it just so that the oxides react to the water and kind of lifts that color off. And it leaves a really nice kind of watermark kind of look. Here are my two side-by-side examples of what you can do with Distress Oxides and some water and the same stamp. I mean, it's a completely different effect. Plus, it's really fun and relaxing, so if you want to try out these techniques, you definitely should. I recommend it. I think you will fall in love with it. And that's the end of this video. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!